Thanks once again for finding us on the Our Coaching Network podcast. I am John Brice of FootballScoop.com, joined today by Gabe Lynn, safeties coach at UCLA. Coach, quite an eventful season for you. Why you're choosing some of your free time to visit with us, I don't know, but I love it. I love talking ball. Welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk with you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on here.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you. I like to call it shrinking the world. I know from studying your career a little bit that you and I have some mutual friends. Corey from Colorado being among them. I know you were with him and you played at Oklahoma. So I'm excited to just chop it up here with you. But you are in a bye week. You have been a part of one of the crazier stories this season in college football. Do you get a chance to just take a deep breath and look around this week and say, man, what a fall?
Yeah, this week is probably the first time since prior to camp that I really had an opportunity to kind of take a deep breath and look at everything. And it's like you said, it's been a roller coaster season. But it's I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. Take it how you get it. Get to coach football for a living, so I'm blessed on that opportunity. But yeah, this is really the first time I've got to sit back and just kind of take everything in.
And you guys at UCLA obviously parted ways with Deshaun Foster. Then you caught some lightning in a bottle. An 0-4 start, followed by three consecutive wins. Really competitive the week after that. What did you find that worked in that change that you guys were able to harness and turn into some victories on the field?
I think really, a lot goes into the players that they didn't quit. And you're 0-4. It wasn't a lot of pointing fingers at that time. It would have been easy to do that, but once we recognized that, the changes were made with the staff, and it was really a challenge on the coaching staff to like, let's bring juice, let's bring energy. The guys haven't quit on us. Let's keep empowering them, let's keep coaching them like we're a 1-0 team, and that kind of sparked the turnaround. And guys really just believed in themselves, players and coaches.
Again, we're visiting with Gabe Lynn, safeties coach at UCLA. And coach, you played at a high level. I referenced it. You played at Oklahoma. When you encountered that early season turmoil as a coach, was there anything you could lean on from your playing days at Oklahoma or even some professional play that you had in the CFL that also helped you be a better resource for your current players in this time?
Yeah. I just kind of take, playing in the secondary, you always, tell your guys you got to have a short memory. And as a player, I'm one play away from making that game changing play, or I'm one play away for giving up something. So you got to have that mindset one play at a time. And that's kind of what we kind of took to our guys, and, challenge them to be competitive, always be ready to go, shoot first. And so those guys had that type of mindset. And I think that's what led to the change in play. And, sometimes it just takes a little time, but I do believe that we have the right guys and good enough players to go out there and compete, and same with the staff. So we all had to challenge each other. Like, I know I'm a good coach. The guys next to me know they're good coaches, and same with the players.
As a competitor, as a guy who has played the sport at a high level and climbed through the coaching ranks from the D2 levels
Yeah.
to GA work to all of that, how much do you embrace the competition? How much do you embrace the challenge and try to find a way to thrive in those moments?
Man, I love it. I love it. Like I said earlier, I get to coach football for a living. I mean, it doesn't feel like work, whether it's at the D2 level or the Power Four level. I'm blessed to get to do that, and I've been doing it for almost 10 years now. So if the day I don't feel like I'm blessed to do that is the day I need to stop coaching. So it's still a joy. It's a grind, but I wouldn't rather do anything else.
When did you know you wanted to get into coaching? Because your career is fascinating. You played at one of those one name, I call them one name high schools. Like
Yeah.
everybody
Yep.
who knows ball knows
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yep.
Everybody who knows ball knows Jinx. So was it a high school coach who influenced you, or when did you know you wanted to get into coaching? And now what's it like? You've referenced it doesn't feel like work, but what's it like to actually be coaching now?
Yeah, so for me, it was a little different. I went to Jinx. It was a great school, and got the opportunity to play at Oklahoma. But I didn't want to coach. I saw myself as a player. I thought I was going to have a long NFL professional career. That didn't happen. I just didn't think I wanted to coach because I just didn't think it was my thing. And I actually wanted to get into scouting, and tried to go that route. Went to, I think, the Senior Bowl, and kind of networked. And couple guys told me like, you need to go work in football, whether it's at OU or wherever. And so I kind of hit some of my old coaches up, and there was a GA position at UCO because it was late, right before the season when I'm trying to do this. And so I went and did that, and it probably took a week of it, and I was just like, I never looked back. This was, it was the closest thing to playing. I had a blast and got to learn a lot. So that's kind of how it started for me.
UCO Central Oklahoma, as a GA there, you can't have been making a whole bunch of money.
I
So
wasn't making anything. I
yeah.
wasn't making anything. Yeah.
So how'd you make ends meet? What'd you do? Like,
Yeah.
because you see it now, you're at UCLA, you're
Yeah.
coaching in LA, you're wearing the Jordan gear because that's part of
Yeah.
your apparel, but you didn't wake up in Jordan gear. Like you had to
No.
climb to get here. What was the climb
Sure.
like for you?
Yeah. It was it was humbling. So at my first year at UCO, I think I had I had like a little side hustle after college. I had me and one of my teammates had like these frozen ice stands across the Oklahoma City. And so that was like our little side hustle. And what else was I doing? Shoot, I was Ubering, you know what I mean? Doing all kinds of things and coaching. And that's all I knew, and that's all the guys I was around, one of my good friends, like that's all we knew. And we made it happen. And when you love something, like I tell coaches, especially young coaches, like we've all been there. You got, few guys get to go to the big school, get paid a bunch of money as a young guy. It doesn't usually work out like that. You got to go through some stuff. And I really appreciate it because some of the best coaches I know coach at that D2 level and have been doing it a long time and, love it. So hats off to them.
Yeah, I'm kind of a believer. Not that coaching is not important at all levels, it is, but
Yeah,
coaching can show up more a little bit at those D2 levels or
definitely.
NAI because you have to coach more because you
Got
don't
to.
have a bunch of dudes that are going to be NFL players on Sundays. So
Exactly.
I love hearing that. Like we said, you played at Jinx, one of those one name prep programs. So you were a highly regarded prep recruit. What was your Uber rating? Did you get a 5-star Uber rating or where we at on that?
I can't even remember. I do remember one time somebody threw up in my car. So I didn't give them a 5-star, but I was pretty high. Yeah, I was four and a half, 5-star.
I like that. I like that. I
Yeah,
appreciate the hustle. Appreciate the
yeah,
hustle. As you've grown through the years in coaching, how would you describe your coaching style? And you've already referenced the fact that you played at a high level. You know what it's like to have that short memory.
yeah,
How do you not only tell that to your players, but help your players embrace that philosophy?
yeah. So I'm naturally like away from football. I'm pretty reserved. In a room full of people, I'm pretty reserved. But I'm also observant. So coaching DBs though, you got to be more proactive, right? You're gonna have a lot of different personalities. So I think my coaching style kind of changed depending on the group I'm with. Now, there's going to be some things that are consistent, but if I have a group that's a really young group, then I got to be the louder guy. I got to, give them a lot of examples on how to learn the scheme or whatever it is. It's you got to do more coaching. If I got a older group or a raw group, I don't have to be the hype man every day. You know what I mean? We can come in
Mhm.
a meeting and get straight to it, straight to the X's and O's and clean up things. So it kind of changes. I would say this year at UCLA, it's been a blast because it's a mixture of none of these guys were here a year ago, right? I wasn't here, none of the players were, so we're all learning a second new system. So it's a lot of install every day. It feels like training camp right now. So I'm coaching early in the morning, coming back later in the afternoon, coaching these guys. It's been great.
You did quality control on the defensive side of the ball at Colorado, but you also worked in personnel at Colorado. How
Yep.
did those times help prepare you to be the safeties coach now at UCLA? What did you take from personnel and quality control that
Yeah.
helps drive you and fuel you every single day now as the safeties coach at UCLA?
So for me, from the personnel side, as a coach, it just taught me like, you know, I have as a position coach, I like a certain type of player, right? I want to recruit a certain type of safety. Well, you don't always have that luxury, right? There's not always going to be eight prototypes of what you want, or they might be going to the big dogs or whatever it is. So personnel taught me like to find, get outside of my box, find other styles, and learn how to, coach those type of kids. And then the quality control part, that was a part where when you don't have a room every day, you really get to see everything. You really get to learn everything. So for me, that my first year there was a big year for me, really learning D-line play and understanding, where their hands are going, how they're going to get lined up, and certain techniques and different things like that. So that was really probably my best year of just learning something different than what I've coached and played my whole life.
Really good insight as we visit again with Gabe Lynn, UCLA assistant coach, coaches the safeties for the Bruins. The Bruins, who have won now 3 out of 4 after making a coaching change. I've got to ask you, when you get that first win and it's a watershed moment against Penn
Yeah,
State, you guys are 4 touchdown underdogs, but you controlled the game wire to wire like that. But that was not a fluke win. You guys earned that win. You won that game on the field. What was the scene like in the locker room afterwards? And what was it like to just get to see those young people who had been through so much, who had seen their
yeah,
coach fired, have that kind of excitement and that kind of moment?
yeah. It was crazy. I was super excited for those guys. Like right after the game, my family was on the field, and I couldn't even really celebrate with my family because I was just so happy for the players. Like they've worked super hard. They've been through a lot. That every time they look on social media or on the news, they're seeing how bad they are, or you know what I mean. So they overcame a lot, and I was really happy about those guys. And it took everybody. We played several different ones, twos, several different DBs out there, and from the starters to the scout team guys, I was proud of all those guys.
We've heard a lot about Jerry Newhousel. Pardon me, got a little bit of a cough here. We've
Yeah,
heard a lot about Jerry Newhousel. We know he's a UCLA guy, but Tim Skipper is the skipper.
yeah,
He's in that role for a reason,
yeah,
and he's got the right persona for it. What
yeah.
makes him so fitted to help the UCLA Bruins, navigate these very difficult waters?
Man, that from the outside looking in, right? Just looking at Coach Skipper, from both when he, first came in as a special assistant to Coach Foster to now as the interim head coach, that guy never has a bad day. You would never see him have a bad day. He's consistent. And he's the same guy he was in the back of the room as an assistant, special assistant, to now he's the head coach. He's always positive, always upbeat. A lot of respect for him. And it's poured into the players because, guys didn't really know him. I think he got here like right during training camp. So when they announced him, a lot of players didn't really know who he was. And then, they see this happy-go-lucky guy bringing energy every day. You wait for it to turn off day 3 or day 4. It's been consistent through the wins, through the losses. It's been consistent. So, hats off to him. He's doing a great job, and it's bled into the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, and that's obvious. Again, you guys
Yeah,
don't win 3 in a row under these circumstances if you don't have belief in everyone from the top down, and if you don't still have real authentic chemistry in your locker room. So certainly a credit to the Bruins. Again, we visit with Gabe Lynn, safeties coach at UCLA. Enjoying this chat, Coach. I know we're jumping around a bunch of different spots, but we did touch on you being at Colorado for a couple of years. I could not have you on my podcast in good faith and not ask you about working with Coach Prime.
man.
I've dealt with Coach for a long time. We visited some, even all the way back when he was at Jackson State. I have great
Yeah,
respect for what he's done. What's your favorite Coach Prime story that you can share?
yeah.
Maybe, and then what do you still bring with him to the office every day that helps you be a better coach?
Probably my favorite one is because we had 2 different defensive coordinators there that I have a lot of respect for. But when they would come in and install the defense, and this ain't nothing new. This is how Prime sees it. But when they want the corners to bail from press, nah, we don't do that. Like he don't believe in corners bailing. Either get up or play press. There's no in between. And so it would just, you kind of see the coordinators like, but coach, but no, no, we're not doing it. And it's not super funny, but it's the standard that he sets. Like corners are gonna get up there close to people and they're gonna play man, or they're gonna play off and play cover 2, or then they can do bail, whatever, but there's no in between. And so just seeing his confidence and the man he is off camera, I got a lot of respect for dude. Like you don't, I mean, you see some of the good things he do, but he really, he's taking care of a lot of people, like players, staff. And when I say taking care of, not like, not, not Like he's just a good man, through and through. It's a lot of things you don't see on the media, which you see a lot on the media, but you don't see him going the extra mile for people. And I think that's why coaches that work there, really enjoy it.
Yeah, he lives it, and that's one question I wanted to ask you about, so that I could ask this follow up. Is
Yeah,
the authenticity there in the accountability? Like if Prime
yeah,
isn't real, he can't get that realness and that acceptance from his players. Is that right?
right. No, hands. It don't matter if you're in this NIL age, if you're the guy making the most money on the team, or if you're the guy that's, the fourth string snapper. Like he's going to hold you to a certain accountability, and if you're not there, you won't be there that long. You know what I mean? If you're not meeting the standard, you won't be there that long. And it's every single day. Don't come into meetings with your hats on. Don't have your pants sagging. Little things that have gotten away with from football, little things that have gotten away from really just society. Yes sir, no sir. He's all over those things, and that was a breath of fresh air because coming from Jinx and my family background, that's how I was raised, and so it was good to see guys being held to that type of standard.
Yeah, it's real. That's
Yep.
what I like about it is he has what he believes in, and he helps shape these guys for far beyond the football field. It's fun to see. I've talked to, as I said, I've talked to Corey Phillips about. I've known Corey since he was a high school coach in
Yeah.
Nashville. I know he's told me some of the same things. And when you speak about the standard and you speak about accountability, since the change, you guys at UCLA are 3-1. You're open this week, but you're 3-5 overall. You can still make a bowl game. You still
Yeah.
have some success. You're still playing Big Ten games. You still have a chance to be a voice in major college football this year. How do you
Yeah.
guys maintain the standard, the accountability on a day in, day out, week out basis as you get ready for the final month of the season?
Yeah. It's. I mean, you've probably seen it on some of the UCLA social media stuff, but the word for us is strain, and it's in the meetings, it's on the field, it's in the training room. Like we know we know what we're up against, so we can't lose. We can't we can't lose the momentum in any area. So every day at practice, every day in the film room, whether it's me preparing the film or whatever it is, like we have to be calculated and really strain each play. And so that's the message to the guys. And like I said, it's a great group of guys. These guys are competing. Last week the scoreboard didn't show that, but when we really watched the tape, it's like we got things to clean up, but they didn't quit on us, and that's what I love. That's what makes it easy to coach these guys.
Well, you don't, as a program, encounter a mid-year coaching change and then whip off 3 wins in a row if there's not
Yeah.
belief still in the program, again, from the top down. We don't want to keep you too long here. You're kind enough to visit with us on your open date, your last open date of the season.
Yep.
You're getting ready for Nebraska on November 8th. One more day. We're recording this on a Wednesday, so one more day of practice this week.
Yep.
Gabe Lynn, what is your ideal open date Saturday? How much football do you still watch? What do you do with the family? You're in
Yeah.
LA. Are you going to the
Yeah.
beach? Like, tell me,
Yeah.
let me live vicariously, because it was 30 some degrees this morning in South Bend, Indiana, where I'm at. So let
All
me
right.
live vicariously through you.
Yeah. So we talked about how crazy this season has been. So this is going to be a big family Saturday for me. Um, we got trick or treating tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday. I know my niece. She has a dance competition. So I'll be at the dance competition. 4:30 our time. I'll be watching the Nebraska game. So we'll make it fun. We'll make it a family event. We'll cook, grill or something like that, and get some food and drinks and have a good time. But it's a big family day for me. I got a lot of catching up to do on that end. So
Always do this time of year. All right, last one. You said get something on the grill. Are you the grill master? And then what are you throwing on the grill if you're picking the menu?
yeah, I'm gonna throw. I'll throw some chicken and probably I'll do burgers first, but I'm not even gonna. I really started grilling like in the last probably year to two. So I'm not the grill master yet. I'm working though. I'm getting there. I
Get
got
there.
I got some OGs that's getting me right.
All right. We
Yeah,
need to, yeah, we need to get you to share some of those grill pictures on social media
I can
so
do
we
that.
can follow along.
I can do
Uh,
that for sure.
All right.
Yeah,
Coach Gabe Lynn, man, we cannot thank you enough for visiting with us here on the Our Coaching Network podcast. Been a really fun visit, and wish you the best of luck the rest of this season to you and the UCLA Bruins.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Once again, Gabe Lynn, UCLA assistant coach. I'm John Brice of FootballScoop.com. This has been the latest Our Coaching Network podcast. Until the next one, enjoy this one.